Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, I want to talk about the difference between debt and equity, the context of a business and investment, both from the party that's getting the money and the party that's giving the money. And that's an investment, either an investment, which would be equity, or a loan, which is debt. When a company wants to or needs to have additional funds to operate or to expand or to expand, I mean to invest in more inventory or a more bigger facility or a facility for the first time or people, all of which takes a cash outlay, they have two avenues to pursue. One is debt, which is to go and borrow the money. If you're on your own and you're starting something in your apartment, you might go to borrow from your roommate or your brother or your parents or your grandmother or yourself if you have some type of investment and you would loan that to the company to be paid back. The advantages for debt for the party getting the money is that it's a known amount. You have the terms laid out up front. You know that hopefully you can afford it before you take in the money and you receive the loan, and it's a set amount. Sometimes it might be payments with a balloon payment, or it's fully amortized, which means when you pay out all the payments at the end you're done. And in exchange for that debt, sometimes it's unsecured, which means your grandmother or your mom or your dad gives you money and you agree to pay it back, but they don't take a collateral interest or security interest. Other times, if you're going to a bank, they're going to want a security interest in some type of asset, either of the company or of you individually, to repay that and to recover that money in the event that you don't pay it as agreed. So that's debt. Equity is where you get an investor. Sometimes it's an active investor, sometimes it's a limited investor. You hear about people saying, I'm the manufacturing, they're the money partner or a silent partner. And I'm not going to go into that here, but there are different mechanisms whereby somebody could invest in the company and get a piece of the company, an ownership piece. And it can be either fully participating, meaning they get to vote and things, or not. And that's another video for another day. So that is the basic difference. When you are taking in an investor who's going to get equity, on a debt, they're going to get a promissory note. You're giving me money, I'm signing a note that promises to repay you that money. When I'm bringing in capital and giving equity, I'm giving a percentage of the ownership of the company to this person. Now, that person has at some rights to the company itself. The debt, the creditor who gives me debt only has rights as to any collateral that we may have pledged or to sue me for that exact money. So depending upon how much you need and what it's for and what your relationship is with various people and how many other debts you already have or how many other partners or equity holders you have, that will help drive your decision on which way you're going to go. When you are on the other side, and if someone came to me and asked me to loan money to their company, I would evaluate it, or tell me that they needed money and they would go either way, debt or equity. Then as the person investing the money, I want to evaluate, okay, first of all, do I have the money to just let go? If it's something that I have extra and I can tolerate the risk, in other words, gamble pretty much, then I might say, okay, I'll take a percentage of the business. I'll take equity and hand you this money. That is riskier, but depending upon the equity that I get back, it could be more advantageous to me in the long run if they're successful. So you would have to go through a whole analysis on what is acceptable to you, what they're doing, what their marketing plan is, what their service or goods, that they're selling is, what their track record is, etc., to evaluate that if that's the way you want to go. If I want to help somebody out, but I I'm not interested in investing in another business. I don't have time to track it and watch and see what's happening. I don't have the time to be involved if that's part of what the deal would be. But I might have the funds available and be willing to loan it to them. And in that case, I would set up a promissory note. I would assign an interest rate, assign a payment amount, make sure that I've reviewed their financial statement and what they're going to be selling at and what their cash flow is to see how it's reasonable for me to be paid back. And I would do it in that way. I hope that's helpful to you, and that's the difference between debt and equity for finances for a company. If this was helpful, give me a thumbs up, leave any comments that you have below, subscribe to see our other videos, and come back and see me again next time. Thanks for watching.